All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash, for giving me the Holy Spirit to bring out this lesson. Next, I would like to give double honors to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who still rule and teach well in sound doctrine. And peace and blessings and safety to the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. All right, pushing this word in humility and sincerity, as commanded by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. And the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Kaya Rachaha Kodash, for giving me the Holy Spirit to do this lesson. And Lord, when this lesson is edifying to a member of the elect. And as you can see from the title, striking parallels between the New World Order, the Great Reset, and ancient Egypt. Okay, and the time period of ancient Egypt that I'm referring to is the time period of our forefather Joseph. Okay, and there are indeed striking parallels. And this is how you know that these wicked elites, their plots and their plans, everything that they do is based upon the word of the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because the word is a constant factor in the universe. Okay, so if you want to have some type of impact in the universe, the only hope for a wicked individual will be to manipulate the word of the Most High. Okay, and not only to manipulate it, but duplicate, okay, and repeat certain methods and things that worked in the past. Okay, now I want to get this word parallel. It says parallel is an adjective from the 1540s in geometry of lines lying in the same plane but never meeting in either direction. It says never meeting, however far extended, and this is the aspect of parallel that does not apply. But we're going to go to the aspect of parallel that does apply. It says directly from the Latin parallelus, from Greek parallelos, parallel, from parallel, parallelos, beside one another. From para, which means beside, the prefix para means beside. It says allelos, each other. It says figurative sense, having the same direction, tendency, or course. And this is what we're going to focus on. Okay, because the same direction, tendencies, and course that was taken in ancient Egypt are being taken right now to establish a new world order. Okay. And the inspiration for this lesson just came from me reading the book of Genesis, the 47th chapter, and we're going to get into that chapter a little bit, because when you think about the New World Order, and when you think about, as they call it, the Great Reset, there are certain characteristics that they want for society, okay? And the mode and means that they're taking to get to that result are very, very similar to the direction, tendencies, and course of ancient Egypt. And this is why the scriptures tell us when we go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, right? And we all know this one. In verse 9, it said, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So there is no new thing under the sun of the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so the path that these wicked elites, the top international bank, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers, the steps that they're taking, okay, have striking parallels to that of ancient Egypt. Because the Great Reset, there was a quote from which let me go to Ecclesiastes 3 before I say that, just to get one more on how the Most High brings back the things of the past. Ecclesiastes 3:15, it says, that which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and God requireth that which is past. So the Lord requires the things that are past. He requires them to come back again. Okay, and when you deal with the Great Reset, as I said, there's a guy named Carl Schwab. Okay, and Carl Schwab was quoted with saying that in the future, you see what it says here on the screen. The Great Reset is basically another word for the New World Order. Now I want to get a quote that he said, and that's the guy, that's him on the screen, as you can see. Edomite devil. Now he was quoted saying at the World Economic Forum, you see it here on the screen, it says, "You will own nothing and you will be happy about it." Okay. And when you think about ancient Egypt, this should make you think about, if you've actually, read and studied, it should actually make you think about ancient Egypt. It says you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. And this is what they're moving towards. This is the type of society that they're setting up. Right now you have banks buying up all of the properties. They're paying people triple and quadruple the price of their homes and buying the properties. The middle class businesses, the mom and pop shops, have just about been eliminated. There are even certain chain businesses, bigger chain businesses, that have not survived the pandemic. So we're getting to a point where the government and the banks, the elites of this society, Pharaoh, okay, in his house, they're attempting to own everything. Let's go to video. Show you something. This here is Edomite. That, he's one of those whistleblower guys, brings out good information. But I want to use something that he said in one of his videos real quick. I think it's this one.
The other thing I like about StreamYard is that if there's ever a glitch in your internet connect,
over 8 million people are expected to be evicted in the next. Before we get to that emergency situation, we have a message of hope in what is happening in the world around us right now. This is from a comment today. The account is Peace and Quiet. It said, Brad and Kelly, over a year ago, I started watching your channel, and today I'm eating the freshest, most beautiful meal because I listened to you. Thank you for the continued reminders of what to do and how to step it up. This entire community is one about progression, building our own future independent of the control measures that are put in place over top of you, making your own path in this world. Get a garden, no matter whether it's a couple of 2-liter bottles. We watched people in the Philippines, in the slums of the Philippines, and in every space that they can, they have 2-liter bottles cut open. They have plants growing, vegetables growing. They have a couple of chickens or quail or rabbits. No matter what it is, they are in control of their own future and survival. And that's what this community is about. It's not about fear. It's about a recognition of the reality, the world, what we face as humans walking this earth. And it's about getting ready, according to Harvard University. The research published by Harvard in the 2021 State of the Nation's Housing Report warns that most of the homeowners at risk of foreclosure are in low-income families. Now, that, of course, makes sense. We have developed a corrupt economy here that has paid people so little that it takes a two-person working household just to make your minimum bills. And then the banks have said, hey, if both of you work at Walmart, we'll give you a mortgage that maybe you'll be able to pay off in the next 30 years, as they laugh in the background. And then when a financial crisis happens, it's these households, these individuals that are the most at hurt here. When federal eviction protections expire, they say millions of renters, millions of homeowners are on the brink of being kicked out of their homes. It's going to get really, really bad, warns one economist. The Center for Prevention's did some evictions and federal limitations on foreclosures for federally backed housing. Those both expire June 30th. More than 7 million homeowners took advantage of the foreclosure moratorium that was passed as part of the relief package. March 2021, some of those homeowners have started repaying lenders. Now, let's make sense of that for a moment. 7 million people.
So he's dealing with the eviction, okay, the eviction crisis right now, okay, as well as he mentioned the banks, okay, setting people up for failure. And it's not the video that I'm looking for, but I'm going to get it. Now, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, and verse 72. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Okay, so this is Bible prophecy that you will have a multitude of people being cast out of their homes. You can get one more in the book of Isaiah, 24th chapter in the 10th verse. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Okay. Let me see if I can find this video for y'all. It's a lucky that I didn't prepare it. But if I go to, I don't know, I did a lesson on it. So because when people are evicted and people are moved out of their homes, those people are just going to be relocated. Okay. So keep all of this in mind. Remember, keep all of this in mind, because this is going to tie in Egypt. Okay, here we go.
I couldn't believe that it was actually happening. We started to get emails a couple of months ago that financial institutions and hedge funds were buying up people's houses at 50%, 100%, 200% over their asking price so that they could rent them back to individuals for the rest of their lives. I said, okay, maybe this was happening on some degree. But then a couple of weeks ago, we started to get...
Now, a normal Negro or even a more normal Caucasian won't think nothing of this. Well, what's wrong with renting? If you don't own anything, if nobody owns anything and everything is being rented back to you, you are a slave. You are a servant. You are at the complete mercy, whether you have a roof over your head, whether you have food in your stomach, which they already have control of the food and the supply chain. So now they're moving towards land. Okay. And then when they get the land, which they really already own it, but they want to get the actual house that you're in. This is why Klaus Schwab said you will own nothing and you will be happy, because they're going to bring, pursuant to the history of ancient Egypt, they're going to take the formula that the Most High used to make Egypt great, and they're going to use that to make this great reset and this new world order great.
Trickles of emails from people who had gotten offers from financial institutions, from banking institutions, offering to pay money, pay cash over the asking value for their house, sometimes as high as 400%. You have to start to ask yourself right now, why would any institution do this? Why would any investment organization do this. The only reason that you're going to invest into an over-the-top and an overextended market is because you expect to get your money back in the long run. And how will these banks, how will the hedge funds, and the financial institutions get their money back on a house they purchased that was worth $200,000, but they bought it for $450,000? How do you expect they'll get their money back? The average individual can't go there and ask for $450,000. Remember, the bank needs to make a profit. So if it buys it for $450,000, it's going to want to sell it for $550,000 to $600,000. No one is going to be able to afford to do that. Ask yourself right now, how is the institution going to make their money? They're going to make their money by renting it back for generations. It's a new era. I was talking with a landlord that Kelly and I had in a little bit of our youth before we ever moved here to the southern end of the Appalachian Hills. And we talked about how before we left there, we were paying rent. We were in that track, and we decided to get out of it. We took a whim and took all the risk, put everything that we own into a Ryder truck and moved up to Alabama to find property and homes of our own so that we wouldn't be stuck in there forever. And he said, you know what, Brad? The generations that are looking for homes right now and the people who are rehoming will never own a home again. He's getting offer after offer for properties that he has. It is blowing up. Watch out for the next leg of this financial crisis where people will never get out of the trap. If you have an opportunity not to get yourself deeper in, don't take that exorbitant car rate. Don't take that exorbitant mortgage. If you have an opportunity to get out of that trap, take it. I want to read to you a couple of messages that we have from individuals in the community. One,
as the saying goes, you will own nothing and be happy. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
So you heard it there, and this is what they're doing. They're using a formula that Yahweh Shem Yahushua used to make ancient Egypt great, and they're using that same formula to make this great reset, this new world order, great. Now, I made a statement that if you are renting and you don't own anything, or if you're taking out loans, you're a slave, and that's in the scriptures. The scriptures say that. Proverbs 22:7, it says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. You see, so the borrower is servant to the lender. So he's putting he wants to put his entire society in a position where they're all borrowers. And this is exact same thing that the Lord did to the land of so-called Africa in the times of ancient Egypt. And this is how Egypt became great. Now, remember, Egypt had a 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. The only reason why Egypt was great and the a multitude of people did not perish was because that the Lord told Joseph the dream, or interpreted to Joseph Pharaoh's dream, and Egypt was able to prepare for it. Now, if you are bringing a famine that is not an authentic famine, but a economically and a logistically engineered famine, then you're obviously going to be prepared for it. Okay, but it's going to put the people in the same position that these people were in. So let's go to Genesis 47, and I'm going to start at 13. It says, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt, in the land of Canaan, for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt, meaning all the money ran out, okay, meaning the people became poor. It says, and in the land they spent all their money, okay, trying to get more food. But if you don't have any crops and things like that, you can't maintain. There won't be enough money coming in to combat that what's going out. It says, and when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth, right? And in these times, the money is going to fail in a way that the economy is going to crash, so to speak, you know? And he's going to put these people in a position where now this was a time where everybody had their own crops and land and farms and things like that. So how much more now? Okay, when nobody has these things. It says, give us bread. This is the people speaking. For why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. You see? So they're going to use the same blueprint that Yahweh Shemel Shai used to make Egypt great. It says 16, and Joseph said, and it gets better, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money faileth. So he said, well, you know what? Since you ain't got no money, just give us your substance. Give us your house. Give us your home. Give us your car. You know, give us your children. It says 17, and they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for the flocks and for the cattle of the herds and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle. Slaki, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. Right, that was just the first year. It says 18, when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. You see, my Lord also have our herds of cattle. So now at this point, the people have nothing. They didn't spend all the money. They didn't gave up their cattle. Now they basically have nothing but the clothes on their back and the land that they live on. It says, how that our money is spent, my Lord also have our herds of cattle. There is not left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Excuse me. Damn, that's spirit. I just said that. But our bodies and our lands. It says 19. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Let us and our land for bread. Oh, Slakia. Read that again. It says, buy us and our land for bread. So they're basically willing to sell themselves, okay, into servitude. They're basically willing to bow down and worship the image at this point, okay? The system that Pharaoh has in place, they're willing to basically do whatever so that they don't die. And this is the plan to bring the economy and the food supply chain and the people basically to their knees, so to speak. Okay, put them in a position where they have nothing, no other choice but to beg for something from Uncle Sam. It says, wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. So they're willing to give up their land for some seeds so that they can plant in the land so that the land doesn't remain desolate. It says, verse 20, and Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. And this is how Egypt became great. Okay. And this is how they're trying to heap all nations unto themselves for that new world order. Habakkuk 2:5 says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. You see, this man's desire has been enlarged, and his desire is nothing but hell and death. But he wants to consume all nations with that hope. It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. The same way that Pharaoh was able to heap unto himself all people by reason of this famine. It says Genesis 47 and verse 20. It says, and Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field. You see? So now you have the banks buying up people's houses and homes for 100%, 200%, 300%, up to 400 or 500% over the asking of the home. Why? Like the man said, to rent it back to people for generations to come. So that what? So that you will own nothing and be happy. They're setting the stage. They're setting the stage somewhere nobody owns land. Nobody owns a small business. Nobody has a crops. Nobody's collecting rainwater. Okay, so then the only solution will be to go to this beast, to go and worship this beast. And this is what they want. This is the position that they want the people in. It says that's why the scriptures say in the book of Second Ezra that they shall be in a pitiful case. Pitiful meaning you down bad. You fucked up. It ain't looking too good for you unless your Yahweh Shemir Rashai is with you. You know, you see like somebody on the street, they might be homeless or they just a low life. They're pitiful. You look at them like, oh man, why don't you do something for yourself, man? Why are you being so pitiful? But because they're desolate, they have nothing. So they're putting the people in a position where they're pitiful, they have nothing. It says Genesis 47:20, and Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And this is what they're doing. This is what they want. 21, as for the people, he removed them to cities from the one of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. So displacement. Okay, evictions. So he bought the land, took the land, and moved the people to a new location. This is all about to be taking place. This is all about to be taking place in America, Babylon the Great. They're going to be evicting people. They're going to be casting people out of their homes, making them go into concentration camps, because they're going to have total control. Okay? Because ultimately they could buy all the homes and then not sell them back to nobody if they don't want to. They don't have to rent them out to people. And thus displacing the citizens of Babylon the Great. Genesis 47:21, and as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other thereof. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned unto them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their lands. So you see, this is ultimately what they want to do with this great reset. Verse 23, then Joseph said unto the people, behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land, but not the land that they want to sow, the land that they put them in. The land that Pharaoh and Joseph put them in. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and the fourth shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your household, and for food for your little ones. And they said, thou hast saved our lives. You see? So the people, when this Jacob's trouble hit and this society collapses, the only thing on their mind is going to be, well, should the government save my life? Where would I be without the government? Where would I be without the government? Where would I be without my master? I'd be somewheres in the wilderness without my master. So this is the position that they're putting the people in, man. To the point where they're going to take these things willingly. He's going to set up a system, but ultimately every person is going to make a decision. This is why the elect, okay, will be saved, because they will not bow the knee. And the elect will say, Yahweh Shemiah Shah saved my life. Say, the curse be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm. Genesis 47:25, and they said, thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in thy sight, in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. You see? So they made a conscious decision to remain in Egypt and to serve him forever. Okay, to be Pharaoh's servant. So when this Jacob's trouble hit and they roll out the great reset, the new world order, the people are going to be in a mindset where the government saved my life. The beast system saved my life. Yeah, I didn't sold my land, I done sold my house, I done gave up my cars. I rent everything, I own nothing. But I mean, they saved my life. It's a famine out here. What else was I gonna do? I got this chip, but I mean, what else would I do without this? This is why the scriptures say there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Genesis 47:25. And they said, thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in thy sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein and grew. And that's going into something else. So the point has been made, okay, that the stage is being set, the pieces are being moved, okay, to where the people will be at the mercy of the wicked elite. Let's go to Revelation 13. The famines. See, when you deal with the book of Revelations, all of these things is all leading to the MOTB. Okay. It says Revelation 13:15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which the image of the beast is his system, okay, and the philosophies and the ways of it. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So meaning they're going to be the system is going to be set up to where if you're not participating and actively taking heed to this society, you're going to be in a position where your livelihood is going to be taken away, and it could cause you to die. You're not going to have no food. You're not going to be able to shop at the grocery store. You're not going to be able to pay your rent in cash. It says, verse 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this mark, this charagma in the Greek, it goes back to the word charagma, which is a physical mark. Okay, which goes back to the word karax, which deals with the syringe, which goes back to the word grapho, which deals with the information that's going to be on the chip. Okay, when you're dealing with this, it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's a badge of servitude, as I stated, which the mindset of the people in ancient Egypt, Genesis the 47th chapter, was they was going to be Pharaoh's servants. It says, in that no man might buy or sell. The brother just posted a video that right now there's mandatory QR code scanning to buy and sell. Right now, breaking news, mandatory QR code scanning to buy and sell. Okay. So if you're still teaching that the mark of the beast is spiritual, either you sold out, or the Most High have blinded you. The Most High have not opened your eyes. It says Revelation 13:16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which the name of the beast and the number of his name all go into the mark. It's all going into the mark. Okay, because the name is the name of this man's system. Him putting his basically you becoming his servant. Okay. Now, I was thinking about one more. Let's go to second Esdras, because again, they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna put the people in a pitiful and pathetic situation where they're not gonna be able to survive on their own without either Yahweh Shemel Shah or Daddy Esau. Second Esdras 9:9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. You see? So the pitiful case is going to be what? Jacob's trouble. It says in Isaiah 32 that they shall lament for the teats, for the fruitful field. So they're going to be crying for the days when they had a lot of things in the a lot of things in their cabinet, a lot of food in their cabinet, a lot of drinks in their refrigerator, you know, a lot of snacks that they, we really don't need. Like Elder Yashawamba said, those low-level drugs, potato chips and, cookies and, all the things that we're addicted to. It says, then shall they be in a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. Let's go to that word pitiful, because they're not going to have nothing. Everything is being bought by the all-seeing eye, the government. It says merciful, and this is what the people came to Pharaoh with: a spirit of if I have found favor in thy sight, if mercy shall be upon me. They were looking for mercy. They were at the mercy of another man. You know, it says in the book of Genesis, the 50th chapter, that Joseph's brothers, the other tribes, or the other men that became the progenitors of the other tribes, they came to Joseph seeking forgiveness. And Joseph told them, am I in the place of the Most High? Am I the Most High? You know, what you meant for evil, the Most High meant it for good. So he's like, hey, look, man, I can't bring judge. You know, who am I to judge what went down? But showing that they were at the mercy of him in that time. So this is the position that the people are going to be in, that pitiful position. It says merciful, compassionate, exciting, or deserving pity. You see? So when you don't have no food, because the scriptures say in Second Ezra, go to Second Ezra 6. When no food is in your house, because this prophecy is fulfilled, Second Ezra 6, and I think it's 22. Second Ezra 6 and 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, right? And that's what you're having right now with the lack of crops, with the lack of water, the droughts in the Western Hemisphere. And now they're saying that people on the East Coast, New York City, and so on and so forth, have to avoid taking showers, avoid using the microwave, the stove, the refrigerator. Wait, hold on. How you gonna avoid using the refrigerator? How my food gonna stay fresh? Again, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. You see? So what are the people going to do when the full storehouses suddenly be found empty? Well, let's keep reading. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. That's trumpet. That's given. A trumpet is something to warn you of danger. So there's going to be some type of news report, telecast, radio broadcast, breaking news. Well, we officially don't have enough food to feed the nation. The food supply is officially broken down. You know, something to the fact that the people are going to, verse 24 says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. The earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So you're not even going to have water. Okay? You won't have water. So you're going to be like, Lord willing, not us, but the people here in Babylon are going to be like those Egyptians, which those Egyptians came from all around. Just like Babylon has people from all around. Those Egyptians came to Pharaoh seeking mercy. And when Pharaoh took their land and basically bought them as servants, they said to Pharaoh, you saved my life. They didn't think about the fact that they just got robbed and finessed out of their land, displaced into a new land. Pharaoh put them in a new land, right? This is all these things this devil's going to do. He's going to buy people houses, force them to move into new neighborhoods, new projects, plantations, what do you call it? Concentration camps, you know, but their mind is going to be, hey, well, at least I ain't out there starving without a chip. At least I got food. At least my family is good. Which goes back to the scripture again, since it came to my mind the second time in the book of Proverbs, 14th chapter, right? In the 12th verse, it says, there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Okay, and this is the ways of Esau, Edom. Okay, the path that is certainly will be the most difficult to take. Okay, that's actually the path of life, but the path that will be easy for you to just bow down to this man's system, worship his image, okay, and take his mark. That's gonna look like the easy, logical, wise thing to do to save your family. You know, now the difference is that in that time, during Joseph's time, that was the will of the Lord, that the people must do that in order to survive. But in these times, this is just a test. That's why I said Esau, he's looking at what the Lord did to make ancient Egypt great, and he's mimicking that. He's setting up that same scenario of a famine because he know that puts the people at your mercy. Then you can take the land. Then you basically have control over them to the point that they would willfully become your servant. So Esau is using this blueprint of Yahweh Shem Shai to try to establish his new world order, right? But it won't work. It won't work. Let's get one for that, and we'll close out Job 5:12. It says he disappointed the devices of the crafty, right? Your devices is an evil plan. If we go to that word devices in the Hebrew, it says Salakia. It says makasha ba, which says thought, device, plan, purpose, invention. So basically an evil plan. Okay. It says cunning work, you see. So they're looking at the will of the Most High, and because this is, like I said, this book is constant. This book is the Lord said that the word is wisdom, right? Yahweh Shai is wisdom. So from Genesis to Revelation, this is all wisdom. Even the parts that speak about evil things is still wisdom. So they're using the wisdom of the Most High for wickedness, and this is what the devil do. This is his job. It says contravance, whether it says a plan, whether bad, a plot, good, advice, cunning work, curious work, imagination, invented, purpose, means thought. So the Lord is going to disappoint their plans. He's going to disappoint their evil ideas, their evil purposes, because it's not of the will of the Heavenly Father that they would prosper in this way. It says he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, meaning they're going to be taken in the midst of their own plan, and they're going to be their undoing. This new world order is going to be the reason why all of these governments turn on each other, because the plan is so good. You know, it's such a lucrative idea that they're going to basically bug themselves out to execute it, to be the main one to execute it, to be the top guy. You know, it says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They're gonna fall face first, man. You know, they're gonna fall flat on their face with this plan of this new world order. Okay, will not succeed. But I did find that interesting, just looking at the parallels of how Egypt became great, and I'm like, damn, this is what they're trying to do right now. This is what they're doing right now. And you know, this shouldn't be a coincidence, because as we read, the thing that have been is that which shall be. But the scriptures also say here in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, in the 10th verse, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And this Egypt that is speaking on is talking about the new Egypt, talking about the Egypt that we're currently in. It was said in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, in the 68th verse, that we will be brought into Egypt again by way of ships. That Egypt is talking about wherever the boat landed, okay? Jamaica, Australia, America mainly. But anywhere the boat stopped and dropped the Israelites off, that would be considered the spiritual Egypt. This system right now is an Egyptian system. Babylonian, Assyrian, Egyptian, Nineveh system. You know, it says in verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, that's Yahushua, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So the Lord is going to, remember, Egypt became great, and then the Lord destroyed it. So the Lord, but this time, he's going to destroy Egypt in the midst of them attempting to become great. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to Job 20 and verse. I'm gonna try to get to the point. Verse Job 20 and verse 19. It says, because verse 18, that which he labored for shall he restore. So everything that this devil worked to steal, or whether he acquired it, you know, quote unquote legally, but by cunning tactics, or whether he stole it, he's going to have to restore it all. It says, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. So basically, everything that you have, everything you're going to restore. Nothing that you have is yours, Esau. This is according to your substance shall the restitution be, meaning all of your substance has to be restored. It says in this is what's that, Job 18, it says that it shall remain in his tabernacle because it is none of his. So your house and everything that you own, Esau, is not yours. It says Job 20, and we're not talking to Joe Six Pack, you know, drunk downtown Cleveland, you know, like these other camps, man. We talking to the head, man. Okay, the top international bankers, man. Those that on the Federal Reserve, you know, we talking to people that matter, you know. We're going into the gates of the nobles. We're not trying to get low-level Edomites, you know, to kiss our kneecaps. It says, according to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. You see, he's not going to be able to enjoy his new world order. It says 19, because he have oppressed and have taken away the poor, because he have violently taken away a house which he buildeth not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. You see, so he's not going to be able to prosper in this thing that he's trying to accomplish. It says, verse 21, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. Nobody's going to be looking for the white man, okay, and his in this American way. You know, nobody's looking for Esau right now. These nations is not looking to Esau for guidance on the future. It says 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, which deals with the 2/3 of our people and the other nations. You know, so in the fullness of his efficiency, meaning when he is about to fill his belly, as the next verse says, when he's about to finally execute his master plan, he's going to be in straits, which is a position of difficulty. Job 20:22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You see, when he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain in upon him while he is eating. You see, while he is in the midst of establishing and trying to enjoy his new world order. As soon as he start to dish out them chips, the microchips, and he start chipping people, and he thinking, oh yeah, I know I done chip some of the elect, you know, that's when the Lord is gonna have this happen. In verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. That's when the Lord is gonna bring the missiles, man, bring the pain, you know. Hey, so I'm gonna close it before I go into another topic. Lord, when this is edifying to a member of the elect, I want to give all praise, honor, glory, and worship to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakachodash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. The Lord, when this lesson was edifying to a member of the elect, Brother Yaquam, Kom Yasharala, Shalom.